Hi everybody, this is Tina. Welcome to Memory Keeping Friday, you guys. I'm so excited to be sharing with you where my album is. I finally am in the back in the swing of things. My photos are organized on my computer. They're organized on my phone. Everything is synced together. Everything's working. It has been a crazy, crazy nightmare dealing with things not syncing together, not being organized, not being able to figure it out. So let's look at where I really am. So this album, I do 2 albums every year. So I do one that is January through the end of June, and then July through the end of December. If you look at my album here, this starts July. I just have some pattern paper as a title page. I don't redo a title page for the second part of the album. This starts July, and you can see nothing is journaled. I have some inserts of 4th of July and our family vacation, and they are done on the Project Life app. So they're digital pages. So true moment, you guys. I freaked out a little tiny bit when I realized I had not done any journaling since back in July. I was like, oops, totally forgot that I needed to do that. I like to do it every 2 to 3 months. So one of my goals for this month of October is to get all my journaling done. So you see here is July, and then here's my digital pages. This was 4th of July. And then I have the very next week, we went on summer vacation. So you can see here that I have a couple sticky notes. These are photos I have, and then this is journaling that needs to be done. I just have to go back and get this photo, and that's why I do this. So then I have, I think 6 pages I did of our family vacation. I do need to journal. I will hand write my journaling right over the Project Life pages. I get my pages printed right through the app just because it's easy. And then unless I'm going to do computer journaling on the page and I want them printed, if I do that, it's a little more complicated. I'll stick a card right up here with my tutorial on how I add my journaling on the computer on the app pages. It is a little tedious, so I just want you guys to know that. But this time, I'm just going to hand write my journaling because I want my husband to be able to write some things. I want my kids to be able to write some things. So I have a couple layouts in here from the app that I did when we were on vacation. Okay, and that's sandwiched right in the week we did vacation. Then I have July. Okay, then we go into August. You see here I have another sticky note because I missed a photo. This is August. Here's the end of August. I got to do journaling. So September was the month that things really fell apart for me. I didn't have enough photos to do each, a layout for each week. So I did a couple things. The first thing I did some themed weeks. So this is a week about driving. My husband's a tow truck driver. So he took some photos out and about, different things he was doing. We have a picture of the tow truck. And I'll be journaling about that and then also asking his input on that. Then we have a regular week where I had photos. Then I did this week, which is my favorite week. This was my grandparents and my mom came down for a weekend. So it was like 3 days. But I did a whole week spread about their visit. And I did all of the photos in black and white. And I want to show you some of the embellishing that I did. On this photo, I added 3 star enamel dots. I also added this sticker that says life and love. Over here, I did the same thing. This was a white sticker. I added it right to the photo. This was a little heart brad that I used. Down here, I used 3 more stars. They're enamel dots that are in the shape of stars. So I did 3 here and then I did 3 here. Now it's a little bit hard to see these like on camera when they're just in the album, but when you're in person, you can see them. So this is one of the things that I did to tie together the whole layout. Then I have another white sticker right here. We had some family visiting from out of state. So I have a photo of that. And you can see this photo right here is not a perfect photo, you guys. This is something I really want you to see. You can see right here, it's dark, even with it being black and white. I had a lot of sun that was coming through my window, my back door, which right here is another sofa, and where that sofa is, the front door is right behind that sofa, and that door was open, and so there was light. You can see the light on the floor here was coming in. My one family member right here, she does not like her photo taken. So if I would have gotten up off the couch and I would have come over here to take the photo, she would have been like, no, 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 don't take my photo, or, you know, oh, you're going to take a photo. It might have been an issue, and I wouldn't have she would have let me take the photo, but it would have been maybe a more uncomfortable moment, and I wouldn't have captured the feeling I wanted to feel. Also, there was somebody sitting over here in a chair. They're not in the photo. So what I did is I was sitting on the couch, and my grandpa was sitting like right by me. You can see here's a photo of us, and that happened at the same moment. And so I just snapped this photo. I just picked up my phone. I turned off the volume, and I captured this photo, and it captures what was happening. She was telling a story, and my grandma and my mom and then my aunt, which is her mom, we were all looking at her and listening to her story. So they didn't even know I snapped the photo, okay? And it wasn't uncomfortable. Clearly, if you have a family member that maybe doesn't like their photo taken or doesn't want that, I mean, I totally think you really should respect that. My grandma if my grandma knew I took this photo of her, she would freak out. I mean, I'm telling you, she'd be like, don't take my photo. I don't like it. I don't look good. I don't like the way I look. I don't want my skin to be shown or my wrinkles to be shown or whatever it is. So when I'm very discreet when I take photos of my grandma knew none of these photos happened. And if I asked her to, she would take a photo with me. But again, it would be an uncomfortable moment of her saying, I don't know why you want to do this. I don't know why you want a photo of me, that kind of thing. So if somebody is very adamant about it, don't do it. But if there's ways that you can take a photo and you know it's not the end of the world for that person, then I'm a sneaky photo taker. I just admit it. I want these memories. I haven't seen, the last time I saw this family member was 6 years ago, and I was pregnant, and I grew up with her. I spent a lot of time with her. We were very close when I was younger. I want the photo and the memories. My grandparents, I want the memories of them in my home, us being together. I want those memories. So I totally admit that I'm a sneaky photo taker. So over here, I have another white sticker right here. My mom and I did a kitchen project, and that's why they were there. My mom was there to help me. And then here's a picture of my grandparents. This is a picture that I have often. Lots of times I go with them, and I will take a picture. I have several pictures of this exact same scene of my grandpa driving, my grandma in the passenger seat, and I put this white sticker and then this silver brad right here, and let me tell you why. The stories I could tell you about being in the vehicle with my grandparents. My grandma is the worst side seat driver there ever is. And my grandpa gets snippy with her, and he'll say things like, I see that car, or don't tell me when to turn, or he gets very snippy, and she'll get snippy back, and she'll be like, don't you tell me. And it's so funny. I have texted my friend Wendy, I have texted her conversations that are happening in the car with my grandparents, and I'll be like, you can't make this up. It's so funny. So oftentimes I will take this photo, even though I have several other ones, and I will document a conversation that's happening or something funny that's happening. One thing that, there was a period of time where we stayed with my grandparents before we moved into this house, and my kids, it was just, I was pregnant with my third. It was Kayla and Viley were in the car, and they were in big car seats, and my grandpa would turn around a turn, and my oldest daughter would say, Papa, you almost knocked me over, because he would go real fast. And so that's something that we remember, and I'll always say to my grandpa now, when he turns around a corner, I'll say, Papa, you almost knocked me over. And so things like that are the things that I want to record. I want my children to look back. It's never nasty. They're never fighting or angry with each other. They just have been married for 3,000 years, right? So they just have their own language and their own way of communicating and being with each other. And so I want to document that, and then I want my kids to see that. So this was a great week that I did. I just did some very simple embellishments, and then I'll do some very simple journaling. And then the pop of color that I used on here was this green. And I think, oh, and this blue, the blue and the green. So I just did two really soft colors to pop with those black and white colors. So then week 39 is, I'm kind of back to normal. Like, I'm starting to get back to normal here. I did my cards in the middle. I fixed those. And then I have photos that are like everyday photos. This was a sunset that happened. This was my husband. There's some stories that we're going to tell. So then into October, I have not had photos printed. But again, they're all organized. They're ready to print. I'm ready to go. I'm going to get those printed this next week. I wanted fall photos in my batch of printing, and then I also wanted family photos. I wanted to get those all printed at the same time. So into October, I'm using the designer paper from the holiday catalog. You can see that I'm using my week of card here. And I just keep going, week 41, week 42, and then week 43. And then the very last week of October, I'm going to be doing day in the life. So I have some day in the life cards, and that's all the photos are going to be. They're going to be primarily of me and what my day looks like. So that's one of the questions that I also get quite a bit, is how do I choose what to put into my album? So this family album, I look at it as my personal album. Like, if I didn't have kids, if I wasn't married, if I was 15, if I was 25, if I was 80, this is the album that these would be my memories that I'm capturing. It would be seen through my eyes. Of course I have children. Of course I'm married. I'm, you know, in my 30s. I volunteer at the school. I have my own business. So all of the things going into this album are through my eyes. Some of my kids' like milestones are in here, but not very many of them, because it's not the place for them. I have their album to tell their story in. So this is something that I absolutely will do in our family album. I will do a day in the life. It'll be photos. I'll take more photos than I normally do in one day. I plan to take 20 or 30 photos. I will put some together. I'll put them in collages. I'll use the pockets maybe for some photos. And I'll do a day in my life. And that will be the very end of October. And that's just because I didn't realize when I was calculating out my pages, I was actually missing a page at the end of October. So when I went to put that in, it just happened to work out. I'm doing the workshop through Allie Edwards, and she's doing it on October 27th, which falls in this week. It's a Thursday. So in this week for my month, or for my, for the month of October, this week will have nothing else in it. When I'm scrapbooking, when I'm doing Project Life, I'm not trying to capture every single thing that happens in my life. It's an overview. So this week is going to be a day in the life, and that's going to be fine. And I won't worry about other photos. So then we go into November, and I'm using the all year long kit from Stampin' Up. And you can see those are already in here. I think I did a video on this. If so, I'll put a card up here. And then December will be my Hello December. I'll use that product, but I have a class that's coming up. And so I don't have anything in here because I'm going to be teaching a class, an online class with that product. So anyways, I hope you guys that you can kind of see an overview of where my album is. I feel like I'm caught up, okay? So even though it's 2 weeks into October and I don't have photos here, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go and write sticky notes and put them in the places. I'll go through my phone and I'll see what photos go where, and I'll put sticky notes. But for me, this is how I feel caught up. Even though the photos aren't in there, as long as the sticky note is there, I'll feel like I'm fine. I'm caught up. I have my paper in. I'm going to have the photos in, and then I'll do my journaling, and all that stuff is secondary. I just feel like that stuff is so easy. As long as my photo system on the back end of taking photos, them being organized, and going to my computer and me being able to find them. As long as all that stuff is going good, this stuff is easy. So leave me a comment below. Let me know where you're at with your family album this year, if you're doing one or if you're doing past years. I know some of you guys are working on past years because you've just started Project Life. So please, please, please leave me a comment below and let me know where you're at, because that is my favorite part of this. I feel like when I'm doing a video and I'm sharing with you guys my Project Life, I feel like I'm just at your house, sitting at your kitchen table, showing you my album, and I want to hear back from you. I want to hear where you're at, and if you're struggling with something or if you found a system for something, those are the things I look forward to. So I hope you guys are having a great week. I'll be back next week and I'll have more card projects for you guys. I'm getting ready to make some cards. I need to make some cards. I'm feeling the itch to be creative and be inside and make cards and listen to the rain and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll be back next week to chat with you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I did end up doing all the journaling for my album all the way back through July, and I was happy to get that caught up. And then you did already see my day in the life spread that I shared with you guys on Tuesday, so you can check that out. You can also check these other 2 videos out I have for you. The first one is my November free card kit. I have 3 card kits that I'm giving away for $50 orders, and I also have 30 stamp sets that I'm giving away for free. And then the second video there is my copper embossed fall leaves, and you can check that out. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll be back next week to share with you some more.